Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I know that the title of today's video is probably pretty surprising for most of you, especially if you don't follow me on Instagram or Twitter or if you're not a Patreon, because those people already know about Oberyn, who is my African fat-tailed gecko that I got, it was like about a month ago now maybe? I've had him for, yeah, so almost a month ago. And he was actually liberated from his really horrible situation a month and a half or more ago. I'll talk about that in a minute, but I want to preface this video by saying that I know I had stated I was not going to get an African fat-tailed gecko, and I fully intended not to get an African fat-tailed gecko after Asha died. If you don't know, Asha actually passed away from follicle stasis, which is a reproductive condition. It's not easily detected, especially like with Asha. She was behaving normally up until like maybe a week before she died. I'm still coming to terms with it. It's very difficult for me. And fortunately, I have learned a lot about follicle stasis and other reproductive issues since that. I've had a lot of other problems with geckos in the pet room this year. I'll talk about that in a separate video. But I wanted to state that it was not my intention to get an African fat-tailed gecko that soon after Asha's passing, and I made that very clear across my social media that I was not going to be replacing Asha anytime soon. But my friend reached out to me. My friend's name is Patrick. I'll include his Instagram handle right here. He actually is like someone who I've talked to many times before because he rehomed his African dwarf frogs to me. And also, he knew I was looking for a red-eyed crocodile skink, and he actually sent the link to me of one that was in a rehoming group, and that's how I got Fugaku. He messaged me in, well, I don't remember what date it was, oh gosh, but it was like, let's see, I've had Oberyn for like 3 or 4 weeks now, and he was in, so about a month and a half ago, probably a little bit longer. I'll include the date right here on the screen. I was messaged by Patrick and he said, "These are African fat-tailed geckos, right?" And it was a post where, I can't even believe this, I'll include pictures on the screen. So as you can see, it was a Craigslist post for rehoming 2 African fat-tailed geckos, and I want to stress this, those are not leopard geckos, okay? And please don't get an animal if you don't know what species it is. But I digress. As you can see, he is keeping them like leopard geckos, and even so, in really horrible condition for leopard geckos. The entire enclosure is filled with sand, it's really dirty, they're cohabbed, they are a male and female cohab. It's just like a nightmare. And I was like, yep, those are 100% African fat-tailed geckos, not leopard geckos. And I also said nothing surprises me on Craigslist anymore. Like, whenever I see on Craigslist, it doesn't surprise me because I've literally seen it all. I've seen the worst things. And he was like, "Man, I really want to help them." He's like, "I only have space for one." And I was like, immediately my gut was like, well, if you can contact him, actually get a hold of these geckos, I'll take the other. Now the thing to know is, like, a lot of times people on Craigslist, they won't respond to you, or they will and then like you set up a meet time and then they ditch you. It happens a lot. So I was like, let's just see what happens, but like, just know I've got you. If you get both of them, I'll take one of them. And literally, the person messaged back immediately and he picked them up that night. I was stunned. Like, that never ever happens. So in addition to getting the 2 geckos, he also like rescued a turtle out of that situation and gave it to a rehab. And there was also like a dying savanna monitor in his care. There was a dog chained out outside. He called his guard dog, and like my friend said, it doesn't look like the dog had ever even been inside a house, which is just horribly sad. So this person is all around really ignorant about animals, and the reason he was rehoming the African fat-tailed geckos was because they were his kids and the kids were no longer interested. Okay, so I'm sure you know how I feel about that. I decided to go with the male, and he decided to keep the female. The female is named Sassafras and the male is named Oberyn. Now, he kept both of them for 3 weeks until I could make it to Chicago because we live like 2.5 hours away. It was about 3 weeks from the day that the individual rehomed the African fat-tailed geckos, the leopard geckos, and then 3 weeks that day I went and I picked up Oberyn, and he's so beautiful and so cute, and thank you very much for that loud noise. So basically, he was in a quarantine situation with my friend for 3 weeks, and then I kept him in a quarantine situation for, I think it was a little bit under 3 weeks. Yeah, I think I went 2.5 weeks just because I was ready to move him into his bioactive and everything was going really great. And everything has been going really great, I'm happy to report. So I wasn't like expecting Oberyn. Like, he just kind of jumped in my life, and I knew that what kind of person would I be if I was given a situation where I could help not one but 2 geckos get out of a bad situation, and I declined it. Like, I had a bioactive already set up for an African fat tail because of Asha. She didn't ever live in it, by the way. She died like the week before I was moving her into it, which is really horrible. And then I thought, sure, my friend and I have got these geckos out of this situation, but like, am I emotionally prepared for like an African fat tail and maybe some criticism online about having basically replaced Asha, which is impossible. I cannot ever replace her, ever. She is still very active in my mind and in my heart, even though she's no longer with me. So I don't want to cry. I got makeup on and I gotta leave the house soon. So the idea that like someone could say that I was replacing her is not true. It's a nightmare. It's not possible. So what I had learned about Oberyn in his time with my friend was that he didn't want to eat worms, he didn't want to eat off of tongs, and so like he just liked to free hunt his food. And so I immediately, in his quarantine setup with me, I gave him a bowl of food, and he ate the very first night. In fact, he has eaten every single time I've offered him food except a couple because he was like, I don't want to eat this type of food. But I'm happy to report now he is, but we'll get to that. So he was in quarantine with me for 2.5 weeks, and then I moved him into a bioactive enclosure, which is what you're going to see here in a couple minutes. Oh, there's a bunny outside. Hello, cute bunny. Oh, it's numbing on the grass. Oh, cute baby. I'm gonna cry. It's so cute. Oh my god. Hello. Don't get too close to my yard. I have doggos and I can't trust them, okay? Oh my god, I'm crying. This is so stupid. So basically, I had to like kind of train Oberyn to be cool with like different types of foods in the bowl. And at first he would only take dubias, and then I got him to take a super worm, and then I got him to take mealworms, and then more recently I've actually been able to get him to tongue feed in his bioactive. Like, his response has been great. He used to hiss at me when I would touch him, and now he like kind of lets me pick him up. Like, he's not great about it, but he is more tolerable of it. I'm also going to talk a bit about Sassafras right now real quick in a voiceover. I'm going to read you what Patrick sent me in text, and I'm also going to include some photos of her. I think he also sent me videos, so please enjoy those. Hello everyone. If you hear any birds chirping or cars driving by, it is because I'm outside with my dogs. They have to be supervised when they go outside, and I figured I would take the time to record the voiceover while I was out here. So Patrick tells me that he named her Sassafras because when he first got her, and like for the first few weeks, she would hiss at him more than Oberyn did whenever he tried to interact with her. He has also said that since then she has gotten a lot better about it, and she won't, hiss at him as much, and she's really handleable now in comparison. He says that even though she doesn't hiss at him anymore, she definitely still has some spunk, which I can appreciate and love in a gecko. If you're interested in seeing more about her progress as time goes on, be sure to check out the links below because I've included his Instagram. Now that you've learned a little bit more about Oberyn and Sassafras's backstories, wow, I love that. Just the way that sounds is great. But now that you've learned a little bit more about them, I want to go ahead and show you Oberyn and his bioactive enclosure, and then also him allowing me to tongue feed him, which was a great moment. So this bioactive 10-gallon has, let me go forward so you guys can see, a drainage layer of hydro balls, and then it has a layer of mesh, and then it has Josh's Frog's ABG mix, and then it is topped off with organic topsoil, and then you can see the leaf litter on top. The plants in this enclosure, over here we have a creeping Charlie. I will include the name of the species on the screen. And over here we have a philodendron, or a philodendron. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I always pronounce things wrong. My apologies. And I will include on the screen the species that this philodendron or philodendron is. Both of these plants were acquired from Josh's Frogs and have been in this enclosure for a while. The creeping Charlie has been in here from day one, and the philodendron was put in, I would say probably a month ago, and is doing really well. And what I really, really love about that plant, do you see how wide the leaves are? So like that makes a whole other hide for him too, which is really great. Like he could literally lay underneath those and it's just as dark, if not darker, than his hides, which by the way you may have seen there is a hide here that is his moist hide. There's sphagnum moss in it that has to be moistened. And then over here he has a hide that is like his warm hide, as you can see. There's his under tank heater. It is regulated with a thermostat set to 90, so it's nice and safe and warm for him. I was worried about having the heater on the side instead of underneath because I've never had to do that before. But with the bioactive, you can't have it underneath because it has to go through all of that soil. It'll dry out the soil. It could crack your tank. You're not going to achieve proper temperatures. It'll kill your cleanup crew. It's just not efficient, so you have to put it on the side. And I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to get the right temperature readings, but it actually works really well, and it's positioned so that it heats up the soil and heats up the air. So it's really great actually, and I hope that he can like it on the side as much as he liked it on the bottom, because I've never had a gecko with a heater on the side. So other people do it and I'm gonna give it a go. I'm sure it'll be fine, but I'm always apprehensive about new things. Right there in the middle we have this little piece of wood that I have had for literally forever. I've had this wood sitting in my closet for like 5 years. I remember seeing it one day and I just thought it was like the cutest little piece of wood, but I could never figure out what to use it for. And every time I would like go to put it in an enclosure, I'd find a different piece I'd rather use instead. So this piece has sat in my pet room closet for so long, and now it is finally getting the appreciation it deserves. So it's just a nice little decorative piece, as well as climbing for enrichment. If you know anything about African fat tails, they're not like very arboreal. They're super terrestrial, even compared to leopard geckos. I feel like leopard geckos do a lot of climbing, and I have not experienced that to be the case with African fat tails. And I have friends who have African fat tails as well, and they just kind of like to hang out on the ground. I mean, they might do some minor climbing, but it's nothing like what you might see with a leopard gecko. Oh, by the way, I always forget to mention this, but this enclosure is bioactive because it has springtails and isopods. The springtails and isopods have been in here for forever, so they're well established by the time that I'm putting Oberyn in. The background of this enclosure is a 12 by 18 Zoom Ed cork tile, and then I just cut a little bit extra from another piece and put it on the end, because a 10 gallon is 20 inches long, not 18. So if you only buy the 12 by 18 piece, you're gonna have huge gaps on the sides. But the reason that it looks complete is because of this little piece right here. And then just for cohesion and to make it look cooler, I took some silicone and smeared it over the background and then placed a bunch of Eco Earth on top of it. So it kind of has like a more like dirtier natural look. So that's everything. Let's go over it one more time. He has a creeping Charlie in the front. His hot hide is back here. He's got a bunch of leaf litter, organic topsoil, ABG substrate, a mesh liner, and then he's got the hydrogen or hydro balls drainage layer. And then he has a piece of wood right here in the front. He's got that really nice philodendron, however you pronounce it, in the back corner. That's going to offer a lot of hiding space for him. And as it grows, it's really going to add hiding space. The leaves have already started to pull away from the center, like this big one back here and this big one up here. I really love it. I can't wait to get more of them. And then this is a moist hide over here that has sphagnum moss in it. And that's everything. So I'm gonna go get Oberyn so we can put him in. He does not like being handled. Oh, I also forgot. I have to add his food bowl and his water bowl and his little calcium dish. But I just wanted to give a tour of this unencumbered by his dishes, but I'll go put those in so you can see what that looks like. Oh, and one last thing. The lighting of this enclosure is the same lighting I've been using for all of my other planted. They're all on one string. I decided to use cabinet lighting, so I didn't have to have like a bazillion different plugs going on. The cabinet lighting is like a strip of a LED. It doesn't put off heat. It's nice white light. It's bright, and it comes with a dimmer. So if you want to use it for species that don't like light as much, you can use a dimmer. My plants have been growing under it well. Everything's been growing really great, and I've been able to link 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 enclosures on it at a time in my bedroom, and then the pet room also has a bunch of enclosures linked to one as well. So I've really enjoyed it, and I'll leave a link below to the one I have if you're interested. Okay, let's go get Oberyn. So here's Oberyn. He was actually chilling inside of his hide, like curled up into the side, and now he's inside his bowl. I mean, he's inside his hide as if it were a bowl. So there he is. Hi, Bubba. Here you go, bud. Yeah, see, that wasn't so bad. Usually he fights me more. That's your house, Bubba. Yes, beautiful boy, that's your house. Look at that, already climbing. Love it. Yes, that's your house, honey. Oh, you can see his little face. Look. See his little face back there? I know, it must feel... He had substrate before, so it's not like the substrate is going to be a weird feeling for him. But he was on sand before. So having organic topsoil and sphagnum moss and leaf litter, hopefully that is a better feeling than that yucky old sand. Yeah, look at you go, Oberyn, honey. He said, blah, blah, what is this? Don't eat it. Don't eat it, Goofy. Where are you going? Hi, Oberyn, honey. How are you? I know. It's still a 10-gallon, just a little bit more fun than the last one. Look at his little regrown tail. Jackson, honey, settle down. I can see your little face. Yes, I can. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's like right there. See, you see his little body. Oh, so cute. You're so cute, honey. Yes. Here, he's coming through this way. See his little face? Plenty of hiding spots for you, huh? Maybe it will encourage you to explore. There he is. Hi, bud. Mlim. And again, if I decide that he's more active in this, then I'll build him one in a bigger enclosure. Oh, there he goes. That's your hot hide, Bubba. I don't want to startle him, but look. He is Explorer. So cute. So it's been 2 days since Oberyn was put into his new enclosure, and I just sprayed it down, and I think it startled him, and he came out to, oh, it's okay. Oh, I know, honey. He was probably coming out to look for food. I just emptied out his water bowl. I need to refill it. He's probably coming out to look for food. I didn't mean to startle you, friend. I'm sorry. So I just got him to eat off of tongs. I want to see if he'll eat another, but I can't hold my phone at the same time. Gotta find a way to do this. Hi, I know you like the food, huh? Yes. Let me see if I can get a tripod. Alright, Bubba. He can see it moving down in this dish I have down here. Give me a second, I'll bring it to you. Give me a second, I'll bring it to you. Uh-oh. It fell on the ground. Well, he got it anyway. Oh, it's behind the bowl. Wow. Great filming, Jessica. Jeez. Well, you saw it sort of happen, but he literally took it from my tongs last time. How great is that, Oberyn? Well done. He's like, more please. I just gave you 2 super worms. You're just a chunk. weasel. Good job! Good job, Bubba! Look at you go! I'm so proud of you! Wow! What a turn of events this is, huh? You've done so well. That's 3 superworms! Good job! Good job, Bubba! He's like looking for more. I think 3 is plenty, young man. More, please. Where is there more food? Is there more food for me to eat, please? Is it over here? Is it over there? Well done, Oberyn. Well done. We'll have those skinny chicken legs looking thick in no time. Well done. Well done, Bubba. Well done. Yes. He's looking for more. I know, but you already ate so much. I know. Well done. Oh my god, that face is so cute. How am I supposed to resist? Okay, I'll give you one more small one. Hi, buddy. I will give you a small mealworm, okay? Hey, 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 look. Come on. He's moving. There you go. Good job. Wow, Oberyn, look at you. I'm so proud. Goodness me. No more, no more. I'm gonna leave the room before I overfeed you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that you kept an open mind throughout. I didn't intend to get Oberyn. I mean, I was fully prepared for him, obviously, because I wouldn't take on a pet if I didn't have the financial resources, the time, whatever. But I wasn't prepared for an African fattail so soon in my life, and I wouldn't have had it not just been a situation of, like, these geckos need a better situation, and it would be very selfish of me to turn down Oberyn just because I had some hurt feelings about Asha. So I hope that doesn't like rub you guys the wrong way or anything. It's just a decision that I felt in my heart was right to make for Oberyn and Sassafras. They deserved better than what they had, so much better than what they had. If you have any questions about the situation, please leave them down below. Also, if you're interested, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a like, all that good stuff. If you guys want to see more of Oberyn, check all of these social media links in the description down below, because that's where I'll be posting him more so than on YouTube, because pictures are easier than making a whole video. So if you want to see more of him, or if you want to see more of Sassafras even, make sure you follow Patrick down below, and make sure you follow me down below as well. Alright guys, that's all for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!